instantly this weight just kind of came on me of like, okay, here we go. Now the real fun begins. God, if this is you, let me win this grant. Little did I know that this will be the most life-changing phone call I'd ever have. So we initially had the vision for Tenboom Coffee Roasters back in 2021, early 2021, and really the whole idea started of I was in a place of life where I wanted to connect business with a greater purpose, and I wanted Israel to be a part of that in some way. And one day I was just driving out to our family farm just to go ride our horse Nazareno, and just immediately just got this vision. This cafe in Jerusalem is what it started off as. This cafe in Jerusalem that will bring traveling Christians, local Israelis, Muslims, Arabs, people together and just to conversate together and to kind of bridge this gap between different people groups, because coffee is a product that naturally does that. I mean, when I was back in college, you would get with people and just drink coffee. It is something that would connect, and you can dream over coffee. You can cry over coffee. You can celebrate over coffee. It's just this product that brings people together. And so we really felt coffee was this perfect avenue. And so this vision started off with this grand old vision of a cafe in Jerusalem. And here I was like, okay, well, what do I do with this now? It's like, all right, that's a pretty big vision. What, are we going to go look for real estate? Where do I even begin? And so it started me on this journey of, all right, just one step at a time. We knew we wanted to brand it around Corey Tenboom when I initially had that vision of, just because of the values of Corey, her name is also recognized, and but also our familiar relationship to Corey as well. And Corey loved coffee, so that's a big piece to it. So it just felt very fitting. So we wanted her name and her story to be a part of whatever this was we were creating. And throughout this time, I was in part of an organization called Passages Israel. Passages helps bring young Christian leaders over to Israel to experience the Holy Land, to develop a heart for home, heaven, in the Holy Land. And so I was in this program with him, with the whole idea was to connect career, calling, and Israel somehow. And in this program, we would come up with a presentation. It was much like Shark Tank. And then whatever we had, we'll go and present it, and we can win a grant or some seed money to execute that vision. And so I was halfway through this program, and it wasn't until halfway through that I received this vision for this cafe, of this idea of using coffee for a greater purpose. And so I switched my whole presentation in the middle of this program and started building was now Tenboom Coffee Roasters. And so we built it, and it was first called Corey's Coffee, believe it or not, because we were in a place we didn't have any naming. It was very new. And it was this journey of just one step at a time. And what was amazing is throughout this journey, I would go and talk with people, and it wasn't people coming up to me about shutting down this idea. But I think people really just grasped this heart and the understanding of what we were wanting to do. And so I'll talk with somebody else and be like, hey, we want to be your roaster. We'd love to do this. And I'll talk with somebody else, and they'll be like, hey, we want to help you in this way. And it's like, oh my goodness, like, all right, God, you're opening these doors. So I built this presentation up and went and presented in front of Passages. And on the plane over there, I prayed and asked God, I'm like, God, if this is you, let me win this grant. If this isn't you, then let me not. It was just very simple prayer, because I felt the weight of what we were doing. I knew it wasn't just going to be anything just ordinary. God doesn't do ordinary. He does the extraordinary. And so instantly this weight just kind of came on me of like, okay, here we go. Now the real fun begins. Like the weight of what we're about to embark on, the journey that God was taking us on. I was like, okay, here we go, God. So that's what fully launched us. And so from there, got some seed money in, and then it's like, all right, we got to figure this branding out, and we got to figure our naming and everything we want to do. And a good friend of mine connected me with another guy named Johnny Pendergrass, who ended up doing all the branding for Tenboom. And so I got with him, worked with him, told him our vision. I was like, I want to stay true to our values, but I don't want to put up any barriers either. And so how can we create that way? Because that was ultimately the life that Corey lived. She welcomed strangers into their home. And so how do we create this thing of where we can stay true to our values, but keep that door open? And so Johnny was amazing to work with. If you look at the beauty of tenboom and the design, the colors, the language, everything, that's because of Johnny and the amazing work that he put in our team that we have here. And so for me, it just felt like this is such a great way just to jumpstart everything. Like, wow, all right, this is real. It looks amazing. So we went from Corey's Coffee to Tenboom Coffee Roasters. For so many reasons. That name, it really was the whole tenboom family. The meaning of the name in Hebrew actually means give me an explosion of goodness, an overwhelming amount of goodness. We didn't know that until after, and our whole branding, our tagline is there's goodness brewing. We want to spark hope, inspire others to do good, to brew good. And we found out later that the very Hebraic meaning of our name means give me this explosion of goodness. So it was just so fitting and amazing. And so we had everything set. But then I was still at a point, we were still searching for coffee. What are we going to do for our coffee? There's thousands of coffee roasters out there. There's hundreds of great coffees out there that people are getting. What's going to separate us? We have amazing story we're sharing. We believe in it so much, but there's only so much solo you can do with just a story. You need a great product to pair with that as well. And so I was praying and I asked God, God, it'll be a miracle for our coffee to be connected to Israel somehow. I just felt like it was very fitting to our brand and message and the story we wanted to share. And God did the miraculous. He did exactly that. And so a buddy of mine, he was traveling throughout Israel with his wife and met this guy, Hanan, who was roasting coffee in this gas station. And they tried it and like, oh my goodness, this is like the best coffee I've ever had. And just sparked a conversation with Hanan, and they started talking, and our friend got Hanan's number, and that was it. And so I was talking with my buddy when he came back, and he's like, hey, I actually have met a guy in Israel who does coffee. He'll be a cool guy to connect with. Jump on a call with this guy. I almost didn't because I wasn't sure. I was thinking at first, he's just another guy who does coffee, one of the thousands of people out there that does coffee. And little did I know that this will be the most life-changing phone call I'd ever have. The start of one of my most favorite relationships in the entire world. The boost that tenboom was given with the exceptional product that we got from this phone call. Hanan started sharing with me about what they do at Agro Cafe, of how they directly invest in the lives of coffee farms. They implement this technology and then they bring back just a percentage of that coffee to their facilities, and they roast it and they sell it. And he was telling me, it's we're wanting to expand more our distribution in the US and other places, but we're also wanting to expand more on the agriculture side. He was really wanting to be able to take this technology that they're using to more of coffee farms around the world. And so they were starting to lean and put their focus more on that. And that's when I came in. I was like, well, hey, tenboom Coffee Roasters, our goal and our product, what we're wanting to provide is roasted bags of coffee directly to consumers. That was our whole idea. We wanted to just grow that and sell roasted bags of coffee. And Hanan, I'll always remember this. He stopped me in the middle of when I was talking. I was sharing with him about our mission, our branding, our vision, everything we wanted to do. And he just stops me. He's like, David, I feel this in my heart right now. I want to offer anything and everything I have to you. What does that mean? It's a lot. I just got off the phone call just blown away, just on fire. God, what are you doing? That felt like such divine conversation. I told God it'll be a miracle for our coffee to be connected to Israel somehow. I didn't even know this guy. I just connected with him from a buddy who just happened to meet him at a gas station. He was roasting coffee. And they just happened to be in a place where they're wanting to focus more on the agriculture side and want to help on the distribution side. And we just happened to be looking for coffee that had a tie to Israel. I was just talking with some friends that I work with here, and they're just just keep conversating, just build those relationships. And so me and Hanan would just start conversating and talking and really just building a relationship. So we started this about 2 years ago, and we just launched it a month and a half ago, our time here now. And so we just built these deep relationships, and it was the most beautiful thing because Hanan now is like a best friend. A close friend to me. Off of that conversation, it gave tenboom this exceptional coffee product. It connected our coffee to Israel. We're working closely with them to develop exceptional roasting profiles that we then take and we get to sell to and provide to our customers here in the U.S. and share this story of not just Corey, tenboom, and their story, but this message of hope, love, perseverance, forgiveness. And it's something that just connects over a coffee product or a product like coffee that just connects people. So we had that conversation. Amazing. And then so now it's like, all right, well, let's just continue to build. So we started building our website. I have an amazing team here that I get to work with, marketing team. They help build our website, help us build up our emails, all the backside stuff that you need to have what we now have. And so we started building everything, and then we started work on importing our coffee. And so we're just looking at dates of, okay, let's have like a official like launch date, just culminate just everything to this point. And so we're looking at dates, and we didn't know what. Always in the back of my head, like, man, it'll be kind of cool to launch on April 15th. I know that's Corey tenboom's birthday. It'll be kind of a cool moment to launch. But I always thought we'll have our coffee, we'll get everything going several months before that date. Sure enough, we had some delays in getting our coffee in, just things out of our hand, and it just, it's just month after month, like, okay, next month I'll have it in, next month we'll have it in, next month. And it was starting to get a little frustrating. It's like, okay, God, like, why won't this get in? And so it was about February of 2023, this year, where we finally got our coffee in. And we had picked a date. We wanted to do a Saturday morning, and we picked a date, and we're looking at dates just kind of based off when we knew our coffee would be in and give us some time to kind of celebrate this moment, get everything up and going and then officially launch. And so we picked the Saturday, and I looked at the date, and the Saturday, sure enough, was April 15th. It was Corey's birthday. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, the timing of this, the delay in our coffees and the building to get to this point to now, it literally just fell upon this date that we had picked to officially launch tenboom was Corey's birthday, the day I always thought and imagined would be a great date to officially launch on. And so we officially launched April 15th, 2023, and it was just this beautiful moment of being able to honor the story and the legacy of Corey because we feel that weight and we want to present it in such an honorable way. But it was also a statement of, hey, we're wanting to continue this forward in our world today. And so Corey's birthday is special, and it was not only the day she was born, but it was also the day that she passed away and went to heaven. And it is believed that if you die on your birthday, it's a sign from God that you complete your task here on earth. And so for us, the fact that we got to launch on this date, it was almost a statement for tenboom Coffee Roasters of we're honoring this life and this legacy, and we're going to take that on in our lives, in our communities, in our society, and we want to continue that forward in today, in our lives. And it was just this beautiful culmination of honoring the past, but then also stepping forward into what God's doing today. And it was just this divine moment of being able to launch tenboom Coffee Roasters. And so we're excited to officially be going and provide you with exceptional coffee.